Mason Douglas, Unit 28, Assignment 2, Athlete's Lifestyle, Communicating with the Media and Significant Others. Task 1, Communication Accurately, Television. When you're doing an interview, you need to know what you're going to say to the interviewer. Communicating is vital in every single way during sports. If you are getting interview for a television company, then you will know about it a couple of days before, so you can practice your interview. And an interview can show if a player is putting in the effort and also tells the audience how they are feeling. This can boost an athlete's confidence as when the fans hear what he has to say. If it's good, then the fans will cheer for the player more. Whereas if it's bad, clearly the player will get abuse. This is why players should go over the interview a couple of days before, so we can get an idea of what is going to be asked and how he's going to answer them. For example, Jose Mourinho. People love what he says, but some people hate it. He says everything how it is, but sometimes he isn't always right. He has been fined a lot of times for saying bad things about the fans, referees and players, but this can mean he's losing fans for his behaviour and opinion. Interviewees should always speak clearly when being interviewed, so the audience and interviewer can hear what the player has to say accurately. Presenting communication, television. Preparing for an interview is huge, because if the player doesn't know what the interviewer is going to say, then it might be hard for the athlete to know what to say before the interview. The player will get informed of a coach or the manager that the interview is going to happen, and he will tell you what kind of questions are going to be asked. This helps the athlete to not be under pressure, as he will know what kinds of questions are going to be asked. The media is very dangerous with communication in interviews. If you say something wrong, then it can turn out very bad and ruin your career. Personal delivery styles, television. When delivering your speech to the interviewer, you need to give good eye contact to the camera and make it look like you want to do the interview, to show that you are putting in the effort and caring about the audience. This allows the audience to understand what you are saying and makes them want to listen, whereas if you are looking down and giving one-word answers, then it shows you don't really care. If you have just been beaten and you still need to care and look like you are putting effort in, this can show that you are going to try harder the next game and win. Things like this can help younger children show that they should never give up, but the athlete is down and not caring. Then it shows it doesn't matter if you try again or not. Appearance, television. Your body language is key during an interview on television, as the audience can see you because you're on screen, so you need to look up and keep eye contact at all time. At the end of the game, when interviewing, if you are sweating and muddy, then you should change or have a shower, then come out for the interview, because it shows you have thought about the interview. You need to look smart and representable to prove that you want to do the interview. Smiling shows that you are happy with how you are doing when you play. For example, if Sergio Aguero is doing an interview, he has to learn some English before the match, but he also has to make himself look smart, because it makes him look like he's put some good effort in. Timing, television. When the question is being asked, you should give yourself time to think about what is being asked, so you don't get it wrong. If you time yourself out when practicing the interview, then clearly you will get it right when it comes to the actual interview. When speaking at a good pace, so that it is easy to understand and the audience clearly knows what you are saying. If you get the timing wrong, then it will be hard to listen and understand, and they won't want to listen to you next time, and that could damage your confidence. Communication accurately, radio. Speaking clearly is really important for radio, as you can't see what he is saying. You can only hear, so speaking loud and clear is a major key for communication on radio. If you use good vocabulary that the audience understands, then it can make you sound intelligent, and it shows you know what you're talking about. You won't need to think about eye contact, as nobody will be able to see you, so you just need to focus on what you are going to say, which will make it easier than having to always think about your looks. Preparation for communication radio. This would be the same as you are doing it on radio, because you still need to know what you are going to be asked, which will give you a clear view so you can answer the questions better. If you don't prepare, then you can get stage fright and just freeze when being asked the questions, and as you wouldn't know what to say. It also helps you not to stutter and pronounce your words better to make you look intelligent and looks like you're not just putting the effort in when playing, but also for the fans to hear what you have to say about how you are feeling in your future, etc. Personal delivery styles radio. You will need to deliver your speech properly and clearly, as it'll be harder to understand because it is on the radio and the audience won't be able to see the player speaking. Stuttering can affect the interview as it's harder to understand, so you will have to be confident and prepared. Body language is a huge asset for this because it shows appearance radio. Appearance doesn't really matter with the radio, as the audience can't see whether you are dirty or not. It would be better to do the interview straight after the match, because then that is when you would be feeling your emotions and most, whereas if you are getting changed and have a shower, then you would have calmed down and it wouldn't show you how you are actually feeling. Timing radio. When being interviewed, you need to space yourself out for the questions and don't rush the answers, as you will speak fast. And because it's on the radio, it's harder to understand. Whereas on television, you can see how they are looking and feeling. When rushing the answer, you can stutter and the audience won't be able to understand. This is why, when speaking, you need to talk calm and at a good pace so the people that are listening know what you are saying. Task 2. Employers. Athletes need a good relationship with their employers because they sort out the travelling, training or competition. This allows the athlete to develop in his career to his or her max potential. If you have a good relationship with the employer, then that means at any team you need to speak to them, then that's okay for him, and it allows to get their problems out of the way. Match officials are just important as the athletes who play on the pitch, as without them, the game wouldn't be able to go on. The rules wouldn't count unless they were there, so they are really important. The players have to talk to them with respect or else they will get punished. For example, in rugby, the players have to call the referee sir out of respect. Club, regional, national coaches. You would need to have a good relationship with your coach, as he is the one that tells the manager if you are playing well or not. Successful athletes have a really good friendship with the coach, as you want to be picked for the lineup in the national team, whereas if you don't, then you will have a fewer chance of getting onto the team. Agent. An agent looks after you and helps you to find clubs and sponsors. You would need to have a good relationship with your agent so you know what is going on and how the future looks for you and your family. Without an agent, you would have to find a new club on your own, and that would be a lot harder. Manager. You would need to have a good relationship with your manager because he decides whether you play or not. Also, he wants to know if you are okay and fit or if you're injured, because it makes him look like he's done a bad choice. If you have the good relationship with your manager, you will have more of a chance of starting or playing. You can also tell the national team manager what you're like as a person, which can help you strive on and play for the national team. Sponsors. Communication with your sponsors is huge, as they sort out what you are supposed to wear and how much you earn off it. If you don't have a good relationship with your sponsor, then they can cut you off and it'll be up to your agent to try and find you some more sponsors. This can earn your money for after you retire, which makes it easier and more financially stable after you stop playing. Other team colleagues. You would need to have a good relationship with other team colleagues, as this can gain morale, which is huge in sport, because in football it helps boost confidence, which will help you play to your max potential. When you have a better relationship with your players, then you can also help them play to their best.